Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to another video. I wanted to touch on a couple of things. We're going into game 5. Game 5. Milwaukee's up 2-1, 2-2, 3-1, 2-1. No, we're going into game 4. Sweet Jesus, I have no idea what game we're going in, right? But it's the Bucks Atlanta series. I don't want to talk about the series in particular. I do want to talk about the Hawks, right? I want to talk about the Hawks because the Hawks have done one of the best jobs I've seen with drafting a star player, right? So the Luka and Trey thing is always it's a toss up to people. I personally think Luka is better, but I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think there's a loss here. I don't think the Hawks lost because Trey Young is an amazing player. I just think body composition, Luka's just a bigger dude. He could do a few more things offensively because he's a bigger guy. But I don't want to get into that. What I want to get into is how the Hawks have put such a good, great young team around Trey Young in such a short time, right? So this is like Trey's 3rd year. It's either 3 or 4, right? I'm pretty sure it's 3, right? In this small time, now, they've made a couple trades, which I think could have helped him out. I'm looking at Devontae Graham, but I'm not sure how much Devontae Graham could have helped him on this. They traded Jackson Hayes. Obviously, they have Clint Capella now, so they're kind of good with bigs. If you look at their roster, right, anytime you get a star player, and Trey Young is a star player. Most times when you get a star player and they drafted 1 or 2 or 3, it takes a while. And sometimes it never happens. If we think of the Kevin Garnett's, the LeBrons, because I'm talking that level of star player. The Spurs is a very different situation because the Spurs tanked to get Tim Duncan. It just worked out perfectly, and they got Tim Duncan, and they already had a roster to win a championship. I believe either that same year or the very next year. So that's a little different. Even though the Spurs will be on another level because they had a much better team than the Hawks do now. We should be discussing the Spurs a little bit more. I don't want to talk about the Spurs. I'm getting away. They are in the Eastern Conference Finals with a star player that they just drafted 2 or 3 years ago. Right? This is like Steph making it to the Western Conference Finals in 2010 and 2011. The years when he got hot, well, actually before that, but the years when Steph really got hot, that was more 12, 13, and 14. And that was like 3 second-round buys, like not buys, but 3 second-round just hits. The Clippers, the Spurs, just, cleaned them up, right? These dudes are in the Eastern Conference Finals. And Trey Young's 3rd year. And they've done that by drafting well, incredibly well, and making aggressive trades to put good players around him. Bogdan Bogdanović, who's been a little injured for the past couple games, but in a Philly series, he was lighting Philly the fuck up. He's been lighting it up through an entire year. He just got back last game. I think he was like 3 for 16. He hasn't played a while. He still looks a little hobbled, but it's still a very good player for them to go forward with in the future. Making a trade for Clint Capella. Horrible trade by the Rockets. Now that you see what the Rockets are now and what they could be if they had a big to go along with Christian Wood and go along with maybe Victor Oladipo and John Wall last year. If they had a dude that could get a triple-double in blocks. Okay, John Collins, Chris Dunn, who's not playing in the playoffs because the playoff rotation just is going to get very tight. But Chris Dunn is a great defender. If he's still that next year, if he gets his chance to really get his bones in next year, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the backup point guard. Like I said, they have the thing with Chris Dunn is how how he can get in is they have a lot of ball handlers, but he's a great defender that can be on the floor with those ball handlers. It's kind of like a Avery Bradley type of thing to me. I'm not sure how good he is with the three ball. Like Avery Bradley can, kind of get it up. But defensively on the perimeter, if you put him out there with say Trey Collins, Herder, and Bogdanovich and somebody else, he can hold his own. He's gonna guard the best defender. So I think that's good. Gallinari, getting Gallo from the Clippers, absolute steal. He's just been injured. But you take away the injury, he's a very good player. A lot of fundamentals. If you watch him a little bit, the last game they played, he had like maybe 18 points. A lot of post ups, a lot of strong man moves. In one of the other videos I did, I talked about the emergence of European players. With these Bogdanoviches and these Gallinaris and these Lucas, why wouldn't these cats come in with already very good fundamentals? And you just put them in a place to succeed. Jokic, you put them in a place to succeed. And I think they'll be doing fine. Herder, DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, Lou Will is on the team. I'm not sure how long Lou will be on that team, but if he's there another year, another 2 years, Lou Will would just work out just fucking fine. Tutoring these cats on probably first on how to be a professional and being able to manage so much money is being a young player, but also just scoring. I think they just have a lot of good pieces. And I wanted to make a video about it. I just think the pieces they have, putting around a star player. Imagine put LeBron with this roster in LeBron's year 3 or 4. Put Kevin Garnett with this roster in Kevin Garnett's year 3 or 4. This is a pretty fucking good roster. LeBron didn't play with anywhere close to most of these people, and these are young players in his first stint. And actually, even in his old in his second Cleveland stint, you give him Capella and Bogdanovich and a healthy Gallo, I'm pretty sure LeBron will take them too. So, I think they've done a very good job of putting a roster together, a young roster together, and of course having a good coach to meld everything together. So, salute the Hawks. They've done very, very well in drafting. I'm looking at their draft picks from 16. Let's say Bembry is not on the team anymore. I believe Bembry's in. I forgot what he is. It could be Boston, if I'm not mistaken. What the hell is Bembry? I think he's in Toronto. But going from 17, John Collins. 18 was obviously Herder and Luca. Herder and Trey. 19 was the trade for Jackson Hayes. The trade of Jackson Hayes and Cam Reddish. And I believe the Jackson Hayes was how they got DeAndre Hunter. And we got Jackson Hayes. Well, not we, the Pelicans. And they just kind of did a good job drafting. Think of all these star players that we've seen over the last 20 years, and look at this roster that Atlanta has and being the Eastern Conference Finals with a good coach. Most times when you get the number one pick, the top 3 pick, you're not a good team. So for them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think is real cool. And salute, because my team is trash. Cheer.